all the information. Like I'm an open book, and I just want you to really understand what you're dealing with here.
Okay.
As we move forward, okay?
Well, let's talk about Eddington first because it was awesome, and it was just like one of the neat things that I thought, and this is just me being kind of judgmental, just so we can frame this for the conversation. Is you want some water?
I was thinking about it. I was deciding in my head. I was going, "How thirsty are you? How much plastic do you want? What are we gonna do here?"
Yeah.
That's what you saw. So I was like, I looked at the bottle. And I said, it looks good. I need the water, but it's got a lot of plastic in there.
Yeah.
And I was trying to decide. No, that just feels like. Then I just feel like I'm.
No, I think you should. Let's get in it. I believe. Look, I agree. I think everybody's about to try to stop drinking out of plastic.
Right, but this is special water.
Oh, it's artesian. That's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Oh, that came down on a Sherpa's back or something. That was definitely.
So now that counteracts the plastic, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody's worried about like microplastics and everything. Recent studies have revealed that glass bottles now contain significantly more microplastics than plastic bottles.
Thank you so much. I did not know that I was going to get an education here. Thank you.
So crazy.
I like it.
Speaking of so crazy, man, let's talk about Eddington, dude. It was so intense. The stakes kept rising, like, because you have like this, it's kind of like a time capsule moment. This is what I felt like. To me, it felt like this time capsule moment from very recently, where you have the COVID mandates, you have the BLM movement going on, you have a change in the overlords of media. So now like information is coming out of everywhere, right? So there's a lot of like new, but also errant information in the world. You have all of these things happening at the same time. Then you have this sheriff, Joe Cross, who's kind of like an authority figure, right? You know, that's who you look to when there's something going on. But also at the same time, everyone's challenging authority. So it's just, and then he starts to lose authority over himself. So there's so much going on. My question, I'm going to get to it too. When there's so much going on like that, as an actor, are you thinking like in each scene, are you thinking I have to embody all of these like little tributaries or at once? Or do you take that like scene by scene or moment by moment? What's that like? Because, I mean, it got so intense just as a viewer. You're like, I don't even know if I can watch this, much less trying to be the guy who's, spreading the jam, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think it probably, I think it changes. Like, I think there are days where you're probably hyper aware of the arc and you're kind of like following this trail that you're creating. And there's other days where that gets in the way and you just go like, shut the fuck up and just like listen to what this other person say right in front of you and just react to that. Like we're not in our own lives, we're not always aware of like our arc, right? So I think it's like, you're just trying to balance it out. And sometimes you can be so in the moment that you forget that it's like, you just came, we're shooting the scene in 6 weeks, but you just have come from whatever. It's intense emotional situation. And now you're coming to this scene. We have to carry that over. So I think that it changes. It's like something that is just like, alive and moving and changing. And of course, you have like a partner, which is the director, and in this case, the writer-director, Ari Aster, who just like knows the script, obviously, inside and out, and the characters. And we had been going through the script, for a year prior to shooting. We'd get together. We were actually in New York primarily, and just read through the script and talk about things. So you're kind of going through and you're developing the character, and you're following this kind of plan that you have sometimes in your head. Some things you've discussed, some things you're just spontaneously coming up with. And then you just hope for the best. You just go, at some point you go, well, because here's the thing. This is the crazy thing about it. you'll have this fucking plan that you're like, I'm fucking clever. I figured this shit out. It goes from this scene, then I go do that in that scene, and I'm doing that in that scene. And you have this brilliant fucking plan, and you're like, I'm kind of like a genius.
Yeah.
And then in editing, they'll like pull 2 of those scenes out, like take them out, or like put them somewhere else, and then it's like it's much better. And you're like, I'm not a genius. I don't fucking know anything. Like, if this shit works, it's because the fucking director is making this work.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's like something very humbling about that process, right? And you have to do the work. You have to do the work as if every moment is part of this character's life. And then there's moments that aren't even in the script and on screen that you're trying to, I don't know, think about and feel and kind of like take on as your experience. But you don't really know what's going to end up in the movie. So yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. It's kind of like life.
Yeah.
Like you plan all this shit, and you plan your day and your life and your year, and then shit happens. It changes. Things get moved around, and sometimes their characters they just get like taken out.
Yeah, and sometimes you have a plan, like you're gonna show up to like a something, and everything's gonna be perfect. You're gonna have flowers for this, and you're gonna have the best thing to say. And then next thing you know, you're running late, or you get there, your plane gets delayed, and now you show up, and you're getting there as everybody's leaving, and you're the last person, and you brought the 30th thing of flowers, and everything's different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Can you tell with your level of experience, can you tell when you stuck the landing on a scene? Like, is there a moment when that thing cuts and you just like, can be like, that was pretty good? Like I serviced it well.
I've had that feeling before, and it always turned out to be terrible, and I was wrong. Okay. Like anytime, my experience is that anytime I'm like, fuck yeah, okay, got it. It's terrible. And the times where I'm like, I don't know if I even landed. I'm not sure what happened. That's usually when I like look back at it and I go like, oh, I think that was good. That's just my experience. I don't know what other actors are like, but yeah, I guess maybe because I don't know. I don't know if the things that I like, are like capturing something that's like feels like intangible and hard to define, and like when you kind of like nail it, I don't really like that kind of acting, or maybe I'm not good at it. Like
maybe there's a sense of bravado that comes with that that's not as true to life, you know, because it's very rare in life maybe that you just feel like you kind of nail it probably.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I guess I think there's some people that walk around the world like nailed it.
I know. Freaking Hulk Hogan. Who else?
Yeah.
Who else is somebody that really freaking nailed it? Oh, Nicolas Cage in Family Man. Have you seen that movie?
God.
We got to sit together on a plane one time. You know what was interesting about, and thanks for talking about this with me, man, because it's it's just cool to get to like it's rare you get looking at a piece of art and you get to talk to the paint, you know? The interesting thing about Joe Cross, the character that you played, is that there were moments I'm like, am I cheering for this guy? Like, I was like, how do I feel? Because he's who you're kind of going through the film with, through Eddington with. I'm like, do I feel for him? Do I feel against him? The whole time I just knew I just felt. He made me feel, right? Are you thinking about that as you're going through it, like how you're trying to make us feel, or that's not something that an actor is doing?
So something that Ari and I talked about, something that was very important to me from the beginning, was that that Joe challenges like the audience's preconceived idea of what like a conservative small town sheriff is. And I didn't know how, didn't really know how or what that really meant, what that really looked like. And I think at some point, I just wanted to care about him. Like I just wanted to like take politics or philosophy or anything like that out of the picture and just go like, what's the man? And I think that I think that we found that through his relationship with his wife.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really where he's like most like his power or authority is like threatened or non-existent. And so that it becomes like the catalyst for his kind of desire for more authority and power. It's one of the things, as you said, there's several things kind of happening. Mm-hmm. But then once you start working, I think maybe you're thinking about that less. It less becomes about, it's almost like you start the process almost like an audience member yourself, because you're kind of outside this thing looking in, you're reading the script, and he's kind of like, it feels like it's like this character over there, you know what I mean? And you're trying to get to it or bring it to you or whatever that process is, I don't fucking know. And so you're starting like that, and you're kind of going like, oh, how do I feel standing back here when this guy does this? And like, if he said that line in this way, how would that make me feel? And then like somehow throughout this like process, you hopefully start coming together and kind of merging to some point where it's not me standing outside of the character saying, not like some bullshit like I'm the character, but just like you're just hopefully experiencing something versus like telling an audience what they should feel.
Right.
And I think ultimately the director is probably most responsible, is totally responsible for telling the audience how they should feel. Right. So I think it's part of me is like to take on the experience and be honest in that moment.
So you have to really trust that director then, huh?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck. Ari's outside. I think he does not want to be mentioned in here. He's trying to edit from outside. He just bleeped his own name out.
Dude,
that's fascinating.
Totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that just shows you how locked in he is to being on the ones and twos. A lot of times with acting, the actors get blamed for when things go bad, right? I feel like as a viewer, you're like, oh shit, you know?
Right.
Like Rodney Dangerfield sucked in that, you know, or whatever.
Well, yeah.
But it's really the directors. The director doesn't take as much heat, I don't feel like.
Well, so the actor is the one that you're looking at. So like, if you're like hating a movie and you're just looking at somebody's face, you're just going to blame them, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But conversely, like if you're also like, this rules, this is have the best time, they get the credit, right? So like actors oftentimes, I think more often than not, the actors are getting credit and the director's like, I fucking made all of this work.
Yeah.
You fucking grateful shits. It must be like very frustrating to
like
be
a
a director.
parent almost with a child. You're like, this
totally
fucking thing looks handsome because
Exactly.
I chased that lady down the street.
Yeah.
And he's just wandering around here with his good looks, fucking hiding important shit in the backyard.
Yeah.
Because we bought him a shovel for his birthday, right?
No,
like
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about, you know, you're having multiple takes to choose from, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, director's going through, and ultimately with the editor selecting this take, sometimes they're pulling the audio from another take they're putting in there. Just like what lens is used and how it's lit and the angle and whether you cut to a wide shot or you're close, like all of those things, it just happens. Like even for me, I just watch a movie also. Like I'm not aware of that all the time.
yeah, it's a good point. It's not like you're a wizard watching it or something.
I'm definitely not the wizard watch. Yeah. But it's, so I imagine it's very frustrating, you know, for them. And I think anyone that's in the business knows this, right? So when the movie doesn't work, even if the general public is like, you know, fucking so and so sucks.
Yeah.
the director probably knows that they really mean them, and so they carry that. I think it's probably I imagine it's the hardest job.
Being a director.
I mean, for making movies, yeah, the hardest job.
You haven't directed. No. Did you ever think about it sometimes? Are there moments where you're almost there?
I don't know that I like to delegate, and I'm really indecisive. So, and it's like particularly under pressure, and it feels like there's a lot. You're constantly under pressure. I think as a director, right? But I don't know. I think what's appealing about it, the idea is the collaboration with all of like the heads of the different departments. As an actor, you're collaborating with costume and hair and makeup and like props and stuff, and then of course the director. But like the director is just like everybody, and that sounds nice and appealing. I don't know. It might be a pain. Like oftentimes, they're like, I'll call you back, but I have to choose which forks we're using for the dinner scene.
Right.
I'm like, which fucking forks? Like I think there's 5 forks to choose from, and I got to choose which one we're using.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, and it sucks if you're watching a movie and you see a fork that fucking is out of place too. You're like, these people. This isn't the Titanic.
And you blame the actor.
Oh,
because it's the actor's face, and you're just like, I fucking hate this movie.
Oh, you're like, Dunkirk sucks. You see the silverware in that thing? That's how you feel sometimes. What was interesting to me, and if some of these questions are novice about acting and directing, thank you for entertaining them. One thing that was interesting to me about Joe Cross, about your character, well, for one, he was so imperfect, right? And yeah, when you saw him at night and he was like feeling like those feelings when he'd come home from his day and he finally got to deal with what he really wanted to deal with, which was love, right? That just felt like so human to me. And he was his villain and his hero, right? He was the creator of his possibility and his pain at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it was just so like, it was just a lot to watch sometimes. Mm-hmm. Does that just feel like regular life? Like could you relate to him as a human? Does that make any sense?
Yes. Yeah, it does. First of all, I'm happy to talk about whatever. I also don't. I just realized, like, I was just talking about movies and directing. I don't fucking know anything. Yeah. I have no idea what a director does. So I just like, I don't want you to go like, now I understand what directing is. Like, because I guarantee you, directors are like, this guy doesn't know shit. So I just want to clear that up.
Yeah, dude. Well, he's got some ideas. I'll tell you that about him. Well, you didn't walk in here like you definitely like had brought the weather with you. You certainly came in here like a victim of the storm, or just like a regular guy who just gotten. You came. Yeah. Anyway, go on, sir.
No. Let me educate you here, Theo.
Yes, sir.
Let me teach you about filmmaking.
All right, folks, something special is about to happen over in the Big Easy. That's I just .com.
I'm sorry, I don't remember what.
Yeah, I just felt like he was the cause of his own possibility and his own pain constantly, and it made me think so much about life, but it was so real to see him that way. Could you relate to that in your own life? Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, just normal, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think all the characters in this, I felt when I read the script, I was like, I recognize myself in all of these characters actually, and sometimes it's like, it's an embarrassing admission, and then. There's things,
dude.
And particularly that time, and I think in some ways, maybe we're always we're always responsible for how we respond to what happens in the world, right? So we're not like so much of like just what happens in life you don't have any control over, but how we respond to that we have control over. And I know I constantly fail in my response, or at least don't respond in the best way in the moment, right? I respond like emotionally, and so I definitely identified with that, and that's Joe. I mean, he kind of like just keeps making mistakes, and he's so like he's so desperate to like have some control, like just like he's just like, you know that feeling when you're like, I need things to just stop for a fucking second so I can breathe, and then like your desire to like make things stop, just make things ramp up more and more, and then you just like trip and you fall down the stairs. It's just like, it's like that.
Yeah, that escalation. Oh, I kept imagining the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is fucking just like, has put too much cheese on his burger, dude. This guy is just, and then I kept imagining the whole time he has to take a pee and he can't even get to that. He's just dealing with like activists and people throwing things through windows. And then he gets home and he sleeps in his glasses. Like he literally gets up and just has to like bounce. And he's like, suddenly it's all in focus again. And his brain has barely had time to rest. And I'm like, God, somebody fucking just put a sniper, shoot a Xanax into this dude or something. Just somebody fucking give him a damn Percocet suppository or something. This guy needs some relief, you know?
Yeah.
And then it also was like, God, especially during that time, like a lot of mania came along with a lot of those different like things that were happening in the world, right? And there's still a lot of mania remnants from that. And I was like, God, everybody needed some relief. You know,
Yeah.
It feels like that as a society. Sometimes we need some relief sometimes. But we have everything we need, it feels like. So it's kind of a weird juxtaposition to be in.
Yeah,
Baba
so
Frog said,
what's the
fuck
plan?
Trump, fuck Donald Trump.
What is the
He
plan?
is Orange
I don't
Hitler,
know.
fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump.
I don't know. It just
He
feels
is
like we're just doing the
literally
opposite of a
Hitler,
hug
fuck
right
Trump,
now.
Fuck Donald Trump.
That's right.
ST
That's right.
Grim 17
And,
said Eep Crow.
Yeah, did you feel when you watch that movie like you got to the, like you were like, this will be a
Baba Frog
reminder,
said,
this
fuck
will
Trump,
like
fuck
help
Donald
influence
Trump.
people
He is
in
Orange
a
Hitler, fuck Trump,
better
fuck
way.
Donald
This could be
Trump.
like
He
a
is
seed of like
literally
where we've
Hitler,
been and
fuck
where we
Trump,
can grow
fuck
from. Or
Donald
did,
Trump.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Baba Frog
I
said,
don't know.
fuck
Like,
Trump, fuck Donald Trump. He is Orange Hitler, fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump. He is literally Hitler, fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump. Baba Frog said, fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump. He is Orange Hitler, fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump. He is literally Hitler, fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump. ST Grim 17 said lol.
the effect that it has on me, and you know, in some ways there was
Baba Frog said, fuck Trump, fuck Donald Trump.
there
He
was
is Orange
like
Hitler,
I
fuck
felt like
Trump,
I had
fuck Donald
permission
Trump. He
to
is literally
to laugh
Hitler,
at myself,
fuck
like a
Trump,
way to
fuck
like
Donald
kind of
Trump.
evaluate some of that
Baba
like
Frog
mania,
said,
as you
fuck
say.
Trump,
It's like
fuck Donald
we were
Trump.
like
He is
fucking
Orange
crazy. Like the
Hitler,
summer of
fuck Trump,
2020
fuck
was
Donald
crazy.
Trump. He is
And
literally Hitler,
people
fuck Trump,
were,
fuck
I
Donald
love that you said
Trump.
it's the opposite of a hug, and it really was.
Baba
Like
Frog
everyone was
said,
so
fuck
kind of
Trump, fuck
fractured and
Donald Trump. He
fragmented
is
and
Orange
just
Hitler, fuck Trump, fuck
all
Donald
isolated in
Trump.
our
He
own
is
worlds, like
literally
quite literally
Hitler, fuck Trump,
physically
fuck Donald
isolated.
Trump.
And then everyone
Baba
was just
Frog
so
said, fuck
online
Trump, fuck
and
Donald
kind of
Trump. He is
fed
Orange Hitler,
their
fuck
own
Trump,
An
fuck
algorithm.
Donald
fucking
Trump.
thing,
He
yes,
is literally
that just
Hitler,
further
fuck
kind of
Trump,
propelled
fuck
them
Donald
into
Trump.
their own lanes. It's like even
Baba
people in the
Frog
same
said,
houses
fuck Trump,
in their
fuck
place.
Donald Trump. He is
And-
Orange Hitler,
and there
fuck
was
Trump,
just
fuck
like this,
Donald Trump. He is literally Hitler, fuck
I
Trump,
remember
fuck
everything
Donald Trump.
felt so
Baba Frog
aggressive.
said,
Like
fuck
even
Trump,
there were
fuck
like
Donald
there were
Trump.
like
He is
signs
Orange
that were
Hitler,
supposed to
fuck
be
Trump,
like,
fuck Donald Trump. He is literally Hitler,
we trust
fuck Trump,
science
fuck
and
Donald
we
Trump.
you know we love all people, and
Baba
but somehow
Frog
like, even
said,
that
fuck Trump,
felt
fuck
like
Donald Trump. He is
confrontational.
Orange Hitler,
Right.
fuck
Like,
Trump, fuck
it was like
Donald
there's,
Trump. He
there's
is literally
it,
Hitler,
like
fuck
it didn't
Trump, fuck
it felt
Donald
like
Trump.
no matter what anyone
Baba
said,
Frog said,
everyone
fuck
was
Trump,
like,
fuck
this is
Donald
my
Trump. He is
position,
Orange
and
Hitler,
my
fuck
position
Trump,
is
fuck
fucking
Donald
right,
Trump.
and you
He
can
is
go
literally
fuck
Hitler,
yourself.
fuck
Like,
Trump,
it's just
fuck
like
Donald
people
Trump.
went fucking nuts. Well,
Bubba
not
Frog
people,
said,
not
fuck Trump,
we did.
fuck Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
all of us.
Right.
No,
Everyone
it doesn't seem like you're
Hitler,
calling
fuck
anybody
Trump,
out. It feels
fuck
like we're all
Donald
inclusive.
Trump.
I
He is
agree.
literally
It's
Hitler,
amazing
fuck
what a
Trump,
time.
fuck
It was like the
Donald
most
Trump.
recent time capsule that was the
Bubba
most
Frog
insane.
said Donald
Like
Trump
usually
is
they're
a
like, we found a
pedophile.
can of ham from
Bubba Frog
1930,
said
you
he's
know,
Hitler.
and we're gonna invite everybody over, and the
Frog
girls will
said he's
sing,
a
and then we'll
dirty
open it,
Jew.
you know. But this was
Bubba
like,
Frog
Jesus
said, fuck
Christ, we
Trump,
just found the
fuck
most
Donald
insane
Trump.
time
He is
capsule,
orange
and
Hitler,
the
fuck Trump,
mud
2
is
weeks
still
ago.
wet.
Trump.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
literally Hitler,
Yeah.
fuck Trump, fuck Donald
But then
Trump.
it's like it was a reminder: have we even
ST Grim
recovered from all of that?
17
Like,
said,
what happens to the human
Bubba
being as we
Frog
go
said,
through all that,
fuck
and then you
Trump,
have
fuck
all this
Donald
pent up
Trump.
anger
He
and
is orange
confusion and
Hitler,
everything?
fuck Trump, fuck
I think we
Donald
wanted to
Trump.
forget,
He
or
is
we're like
literally
pretending
Hitler, fuck
to
Trump, fuck
forget.
Donald Trump.
Because yeah, it was ugly and
Yes,
it's
it was
really,
ugly.
It was ugly, but it was also really painful. And I think a lot of people were like fucking scared. And
But then also the character of the mother, I didn't even think about that, of Joe Cross's mother, because
mother-in-law.
mother-in-law.
Bubba Frog
Oh, that was
said,
his
all hail
mother-in-law.
Hitler, all hail
Of the
Hitler,
mother-in-law,
all
because
hail
then
Hitler, all hail Hitler,
you're-
all hail
you're
Hitler,
like-
all hail Hitler, all
Did it
hail
just change
Hitler,
everything now
all
for you?
hail Hitler,
It's
all hail
not his
Hitler,
mother.
all
No,
hail
it
Hitler.
made it a little bit more crazier. I'm like, so you're telling me he teamed up with her mom and now they're the one? It's just like,
Bubba Frog said,
but
all
then
hail
that is
Hitler,
something a
all
lot of people
hail
have in their
Hitler,
life.
all
Like,
hail
oh, well, I
Hitler,
talked to
all
my
hail
girlfriend's
Hitler,
mom,
all
and
hail
now we're
Hitler,
team,
all
or
hail
the,
Hitler, all
you
hail
know, oh
Hitler, all
shit,
hail
man,
Hitler,
that guy
all
was
hail
screwed,
Hitler, all
dude.
hail Hitler.
Yes.
Joe Cross
Bubba
was
Frog said,
fucking
all hail
screwed.
Hitler, all hail Hitler, all
Yeah,
hail
but he-
Hitler,
but he
all
did-
hail
but
Hitler,
he's-
all
he
hail
screwed
Hitler,
himself.
all hail Hitler,
Yeah,
all hail
he was the
Hitler, all hail
holder of his
Hitler,
possibility
all hail
and his pain
Hitler,
at the
all
same
hail
time. You know,
Hitler.
it was pretty crazy.
Bubba Frog said,
Yeah,
all
what was
hail
meeting Ari
Hitler,
Aster
all hail
like? I watched some
Hitler, all
interviews with
hail
him. He seems like a
Hitler,
charming
all hail
guy.
Hitler, all hail Hitler, all hail Hitler, all hail Hitler, all hail
Yes.
Hitler, all
I
hail
met one of his
Hitler,
partners,
all
Lars
hail
Knudsen.
Hitler.
You ever meet
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
Dude,
ST
I had some
Grim
video calls with him a few years ago. I just
Really?
remembered. I was
But
looking
why-
it up.
but why? Like,
We were just talking about something, maybe thinking about an idea. I had an idea about a movie, and David Spade and I just wrote a movie and made a movie. We paid for it ourselves that we made, right? So it's fucking very unique.
It's done?
It's done. We're editing it now. And it's
Are you in it?
I'm in it. I'm like this, his sidekick. He's like the main guy.
Wait a minute, so you know all about making movies, and then you were just playing dumb, asking me questions, setting me up to be like, well, let me tell you something, Theo.
Not at all, dude.
Here's how it's done.
No, we have no idea what we have, dude. We may have a damn visual diorama that a couple of kids put together for their kindergarten class. I was playing a busboy, not Commodus, so I think it's definitely, this is way different. I think it's a different, is that the right way to say it, Commodus?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, anyway, no, I didn't know anything. I mean, I'm just learning little things, but I get to talk to somebody who's been, who has had a plethora of experience.
So you talked to Lars. Lars is great. Lars is producing partner of Ari.
Yeah, and I just realized that yesterday when I was looking it up. I was like, oh, wow. I'd spoken with this guy before, but
When I met Ari, we didn't meet. It was we spoke on the phone, and it was the summer of 2020 is when we first spoke. And he had this film that he wanted to make called Bo Was Afraid that he wanted to talk to me about. And so I spoke with him on the phone, and I mean, the first time that I met him, this is so crazy. This is so COVID. Was when I got to Montreal to shoot that movie, and it's so wild because it just was like normal. We just accepted it, but that's very strange, right? To not meet the director, for like the actor and the director not to like be in a room together until they're 2 weeks out from shooting.
it seems risque.
Crazy. Yeah.
It seems risque to me to do something like that. It's like you could interview your cellmate or whatever, but you're like, no, I'll just wing it in there, Like you could have a little small Q&A with your cellie. So was there something that inspired you or led you to think? Because I think what's interesting also in the career of an actor is you start to realize, well, I only have so many times that I get to do this and times that I can afford to be away from family and friends and just take on such energy in my life. And so I'm sure it starts to become a little bit more poignant, like the choices that you do make. So was there something about him or his processes that made you think this is the right choice? Or how do you land on a choice like that?
You never know if it's the right choice or what it is, right? You're just going, I mean, honestly, I just liked him. We started talking, and the way that he talked about the film and the way that he talked about the character, I knew that it was personal, and I could tell that it meant so much to him, that he loved making movies, and it meant so much to him, and that he, like, I think I just got a sense that he was tireless. And like, you know, the director, like, really has to be obsessed, right? Because they have to
do so much.
Which fork am I fucking choosing, right? And you want them to actually care about that shit, or else you're going to be watching the thing, Dunkirk, and you're pissed off. Or
they have plastic silverware,
right,
in fucking 1812. Yes. And I'm sure that wasn't the right year for Dunkirk either. So we're all bad.
No, that sounds good. So I think that's maybe what, you know, right away I was like, okay, well, this, you know, he loves making movies, and I know that just from talking to him on the phone. And he's funny. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes you're just like, do I want to hang out with this fucking dude?
I'm sure.
That's right. And it's like, because, you know, you go through a whole range of emotions making a movie. I mean, yeah, it's a movie and you're safe, but in the moment, your body doesn't know that it's not real. You know what I mean? It's just some shit that you're doing, right? And so it can, you know, things can get like, there can be a lot of emotion or a lot of energy, and yeah, you know, having somebody that you really like feels important. And they paid me so much money.
Oh God.
No, they didn't.
Give me some of it. Give me a little. Dude, side quest really quick. So my friend Josh used to live like, I think somewhere like kind of like over by East LA. And I've known who you were like a decent amount of my life because most of the world knows your name. But he said that you lived in his area. And I was like, well, what if I opened up a shoe store called These Boots Are Made for Joaquin, right? I was like, just to get to meet you. That would be the goal. The only goal of the whole store was to get to meet you. And anyway, that was just like something funny that we thought of one day. But if you saw that store, say if you'd driven by a couple times, like, do you think you ever would have stopped in there?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would have just like cleaned the place out. For sure. Where was this?
You just come in with a pistol. You're like, they're all mine.
Oh, that's not what I meant by clean the place out. I was going to do it legally.
Oh, support the business?
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah. Does clean the place out mean like I'm here to fuck shit up?
I think yeah. I think that term has changed over time.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I apologize. See, these are the mistakes you can make.
But thanks for saying you would have stopped by, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a great. How could I not? It's a great store. Maybe you should still put it together.
I'll tell you this: one day, if I make enough money and I can open up a small place that I could afford to do it on the side, as a thank you to you for coming on the podcast and talking with me, I'll open up a small one, and I'll surprise you. I feel like something like that would be pretty special. When it comes to acting, has your approach to acting changed over the years? Like, as you notice your own evolution with it? And if you get tired of talking about acting, we can talk about something else.
Has my approach changed? I don't. Maybe and maybe not. I don't know. I don't think so. You know, you're definitely more self-aware. It's just like
you are.
Yeah, it's just like the nature of doing something, you know, that's like visible, and you're out there for whatever 30 fucking plus years or whatever. Maybe more than that, maybe 42.
But are you? Wow, that's a long time. But self-aware in the sense where you're like, you know, all your like, do you start to know all the the palette you have as an actor, or does that continue to evolve, or does some of it get lessened because you're getting older and you can't, you know what I'm saying, you couldn't do the same thing maybe you could as a 27-year-old actor or 21 or 18-year-old? Like, does that palette grow or does it dissipate kind of?
I don't know, maybe both things, and maybe sometimes it just gets refined, maybe just, you know, it's similar, it's just like a richer color or less rich. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe that's what happens. Hopefully you have a director that also is familiar with your work and can like challenge you if you're not challenging yourself. But I think like, you know, it's like, I don't know, but I imagine, you know, it's like when you're, you know, it's like 20-year-old basketball player is coming out and, you know, he's just fucking just going for it, trying to make a name, right? He's just doing the thing. And at some point he becomes known, you know, he's suddenly like one of the guys on the team. It's a different kind of pressure of like taking that shot, right? Because it's like when you're young, it's like, oh, it's scary because it's like, oh, if I fucking miss, maybe I don't get another opportunity. But then when you're older and established, it's like, if I miss, there's gonna be a lot of press about,
Right.
this miss. And people are gonna be like, you got paid way too much money to fucking miss that shot.
Yeah, that dude should not
You
be
know?
missing at this point.
Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, he wasn't even wearing sneakers. Like, what kind of guy do we have here?
so this is, you know what I mean? So I think like, that's
Right.
what I mean by like being self-aware. Like it's, at some point you feel pressure in a different way. Like I think it's always, no matter what, it's always like you always feel the pressure. But yeah, I think when you're 20 years old, it's just different, and you know, nobody's really looking at you. You know, you don't feel pressure when you walk on set.
Right, so that kind of goes away, but there's a different pressure of like, it's really, these overalls are hanging off my shoulders here.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either, actually. So to be honest with you, I was trying to be like weight of the world on the shoulders.
Right.
I was thinking of something that goes on shoulders, and then overalls came out. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
No, it was good. You should stick with it. No, it does. It sounds good.
screenplay.
No, I just felt stupid. I was like, oh, it's like, oh, this is a really cool saying. I don't know it.
Are there moments when you're acting where, because there's little moments whenever I do stand up where I feel like people that like relatives or something, there'll be a moment where I feel like my brother, my sister, like there's sometimes where I turn a certain way and it almost feels like my mom. Do you ever feel like you channel like certain parts of you, like people come out of you in certain moments? I think I notice it more as I get older too. Does it make any sense to you?
Sure.
Like you ever turn towards your kids and say something and you're like, oh, that was just my dad. Like that wasn't even me doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely in my life have a lot of my dad in me.
Really? Were you surprised that you got so much of it?
I was, and I think I was like the last to know. But it was like, yeah, like that, and then like at some point I was like, things they're saying like dad, like those are not good qualities, and so.
Like sleeping in his car, dad. Like, yeah, like dad. Yeah.
Right. And so I then became aware of it. But no, I think my dad actually, I was aware from fairly young that I think he's probably the greatest influence, or I was influenced by his life in my work. I don't know if this is making sense. I think I modeled so many characters that I've played after him. He's dead. He's been dead for a while, so I can talk shit about him.
So he can't disagree with you.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna say?
And if he is gonna do,
I just went because I was like, don't say your dad died. It's fucked up. Make a joke about it, and then go, that's even worse. So
no, we weren't sure if he died until you said it. I'll be honest with you.
Don't look it up because he might not be dead. We don't. I hear the clicking, clacking over
You
there.
channel him right now and just turn into him. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think, you know what? Sometimes I think I'm like my mom, and I never thought I would be. And I was always even like rebellious against my mother. And then I'm like, you gotta be. Sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, you know?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, that was probably in my life, that was a connection that I wanted the most anyway. So it's interesting that that's what God gave me, or that's how it, you know, that like, oh, it's like, this is kind of what I always wanted the most. And it's oddly, that's part of the most of what I am, you know?
Yeah.
Just interesting how sometimes things like that work out. Was your dad a funny guy?
Very funny. I mean, he was a ham. Like
He was.
Yeah, like he loved doing skits for us kids. And,
Really?
And joke, yeah,
That's cool of him.
and like joking around. Yeah, he's very, he was.
And what would he do? Like death of a salesman, or death of, I don't know what he did for a job, death of like a employee somewhere? Or
No,
he would just have fun
did-
moments?
One of his favorites, which always made us laugh, was something called the fly skit, where he just was a guy reading a paper on a bench, and a fly starts buzzing around, and he like waves it away. Then he tries to like hit it with the newspaper, you know, he like rolls it up and like hits it. And finally he goes in his bag and he takes out some bug spray, and he goes to spray it just as it lands on his nose, and he sprays himself in the face, and then like gets all fucked up from the bug spray and falls over. And like when you're like 6 years old, that's the most genius thing you've ever seen. Especially because we didn't have like TV and shit when I was young. So that was like high level entertainment.
Oh yeah, your dad was the damn History Channel when you were a kid back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Or they were. That's so funny to think about. I never thought of my parents were like the channels that we had, like, because we had some channels, but it wasn't like that. You know, it wasn't like you had every moment was access. So really, people were looked at as a lot more entertainment. Like, oh, let me go poke this bear and see what I can get them to do a little bit. You know? Oh, that's cool, dude. My dad, oh, it was so funny, dude. My dad was very old when I was born. He was born in 1910 or whatever. And so he was like, everything was very like, you know, and my brother and I would go to, the World's Fair was in New Orleans when I was growing up. And he ran I don't know if he ran, but somehow they let him have the keys to go in there in the morning. And it was like a souvenir shop for the World's Fair, or postcards, stuff like that in the French Quarter. And he'd always pay this guy who was a clown, right? He'd be like, go get the kids a couple of wieners or francs, you know, hot dogs. So I just remember like one of my early memories is just being with my brother and this clown that my dad had given a couple shekels to, running us down the street to get us a couple of fucking hot dogs. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a fucking interesting road. You know?
So how old were you when he moved on?
When he moved on, I was 16. And it was weird because I was like embarrassed to my dad because he was older, so I didn't want to introduce him to people. I always had like this weird relationship. But then I think as a kid, it was fascinating to watch this older guy that you love so much, but you're also trying to keep hidden, you know?
So when you were 16, I'm going to fail at math.
No worries.
I'm trying to figure out if that's how my son is going to think of me.
Oh, damn, dude.
Because I was 45 when he was
You'll
born.
still be fine.
Huh?
I think you're going to be okay. It's going to be, do not get a cane early, though. If you get a cane early, he'll know. I thought about this. I was just thinking about yesterday because I got to knock somebody up in the next 2 years because I need a family. But if you get a cane early, he's going to know.
Right. So I was basically, when I had my first son, I was your age. And it is something that I think about constantly.
Yeah.
Like, because I would just want to be able to be a fun dad and not be this. So, did your dad die suddenly? Can I ask? Is that all right? If I ask you?
Yeah, it's okay, man. Yeah, he got cancer, and I didn't even know about cancer that much, and he died pretty quick. It was pretty sad because suddenly he got like, yeah, it was just kind of sad. I mean, it's all sad, but then it was, you know, I don't know. Of course, it was sad. What do I think? We were fucking, you know, everybody was like getting the champagne out, but he was a ridiculous. But my dad couldn't see. He would drive. And he died pretty quick. It was pretty sad because suddenly he got like, yeah, it was just kind of sad. I mean, it's all sad, but then it was, you know, I don't know. Wow, of course it was sad. What do I think? We were fucking, you know, everybody was like getting the champagne out, but he was a ridiculous. But my dad couldn't see. He would drive, he would take us somewhere, but he couldn't see the lights or anything. So he'd be like, is it red or green? And suddenly we'd get it wrong, and he'd fucking just drive out of it. It was all baffling.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I think you would have dug
I
it.
gotta say, it's
You
kind
would
of
have dug it, dude.
Kinda good. Wow.
You would have dug it. Did your dad have cancer or no?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
He did. Yeah. And here's something else that's fucked up.
Okay.
My sister's lost his ashes. No, yeah, it's every couple months. Was just somebody will send out a text to the thread, being like, "Has anybody found Dad's ashes?" and it's because all you can do is fucking laugh because it's horrible.
Yeah, but it's almost like
it's just horrible.
it's almost really like his last performance. I mean, that's such a
Totally,
fucking
it's a great bit. It's a fucking that's you're right. It's his best moment.
Dad's as anybody found. I love that text too, you know?
Just randomly every once in a while, because it'll occur to one of us. I'll be like, yeah, where the fuck are Dad's ashes? You send that out. And still don't know. Here's the thing. I mean, I'm blaming my sisters.
Yeah.
It might have been me.
That's true.
I don't know. The thing is that it's one of those real, like, you know, sometimes you have a vague memory of like, I know we were in here.
Yeah.
No idea. I have no idea.
Like, yeah, do you ever walk in the kitchen? You're like, it's kind of like that thing. Like, what was I in here to get? You know, where did I put those? You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, thanks for sharing that. That's funny. I'm glad we even got to laugh about your dad today and my dad. That's cool. I think spirits. I think that like, when you laugh about somebody from your like life or something like that, I think they feel that on the other side. I think there's like a big connection there that we don't know about. A lot of people don't know how many open. Take your side hustle and see what you can do. Have you ever met someone and you were like, I could play that person? Like, is that, because that would be like kind of like, I feel like if I were an actor, that would be like my power. Like you would corner somebody in a room of a fucking party and be like, I could play you in a heartbeat.
Huh.
You know? Does that happen with the good actors?
I don't know. You have to ask good actors. I think that that's what this is called this past weekend.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that?
Because I just started on a Monday. To be honest, I didn't really.
That's good.
We didn't have a real drawing board there, Mr. Phoenix.
I'm trying to think. I don't know that there's ever been anyone where I was like, oh, I have to play that. I've been inspired by like I've stolen shit from like friends and people that I've met.
Oh yeah.
But I've never. I don't think that I've ever like I'm going to play who exactly.
Oh well, yeah. You get to choose. You're the one who can do it.
Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing. Yeah. I just wonder if you had that ability. Does that start to get into some people? But then maybe that's like some ego in there too. You play the broken so well, man. You really just have you are just like a harp that is missing some strings, you know? But it's really beautiful to watch a lot of times. Where does that, why do you think that, do you get attracted to those roles? It seems like you must in some ways.
Yeah.
And sorry to just kind of like pigeonhole you in your abilities? I know you have a lot of ability.
I definitely, I don't know why. I guess, okay, so, my dad was, he was a complicated dude, and there was like a lot of like, I want to say dichotomy, but I don't even really, I'm not entirely sure if that's the right thing, but it is like
Conflict or something?
yeah, and his he was complex or something like very like sensitive and sweet and thoughtful about him, and he grew up in a pretty tough situation, and was in juvie very young, and had this very splintered family background, and it was like
They're pretty affected.
yeah, like it's what you'd call like a shit kicker. He was like, so, but he also was like a fucking hippie, was like, was vegan, like, so I think like I think he was like so fascinating to me growing up, because I think I saw those things, and then that existed inside the same person.
Yeah, let's get fucked up and get a salad on.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a crazy thing to even think. And I'm sorry to say that, just like, damn.
No,
yeah.
it's
crazy,
great.
yeah.
It was great, and it was perfect, and I needed that moment. So I think like that was really, again, maybe I'm not, I don't know why, but I think I was attracted to those roles maybe as a way of whatever,
Connection, or just
yeah,
something?
just like
Familiarity?
or just curiosity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think like he was kind of like the most interesting person to me, and I probably wanted to like try and understand him more or something. I don't know, maybe or maybe not. I don't really know. But so I think maybe that's part of it. And then I love, I'm one of those people that whatever limited exposure I had to film or television when I was young, I loved like fucking drama. Like I loved conflict. I mean, I did. I loved when shit was like, this seems very bad. Whatever's about to happen seems very bad. Oh no, you are a fucked up person. I was fucked up. How could you have done that? I think that was interesting to me, and I think I also wanted to like try to. I always was like curious. I think I didn't believe that there was like good people and bad people. So like I was like interested, like, okay, well, this is somebody that's made these like mistakes or bad decisions. How could that happen? Like, what are those? What led to that? I think it's just like a curiosity about that, maybe.
Yeah.
And then some of it, honestly, straight up, some of it also is like, it's not like I walk in and it's like the full fucking salad bar and I can choose whatever. There's like a full thing, and then they come in, they're like, you can actually just from here to there, you can have those 4 options. You go, well, what about there? You go, no, you don't. That's not for you. So part of it is like, get in where you fit in, right? Part of it is like, I had a face that just oftentimes looked criminal from like a very young age. I noticed that like when I went into the fucking store with my friends, I was the one that was followed around by security. Right? They like were like, and I didn't understand why. But at some point, I think I kind of realized, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm getting these parts, and like,
Yeah, I'm the guy in the master. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, playing Skeletor in the He-Man commercial, not He-Man.
Oh, that's what you're saying. You're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So part of it is like, that's just also the reality, right? Oh. And there's things where you're like, oh, but I can do that. I want to do that. And they're like, no, you can't. No. And in some ways, maybe they're right. There's also like a point where you're like, okay, how do I achieve that thing that I'm chasing there in this in this thing. Like maybe that's the better route for me. Like maybe that's the more honest thing. And like I'm chasing an idea that I think that somebody maybe has of me as an actor, and I want to dispel that. No, that's not what's important. But maybe it's valuable to like chase that quality, but through this character's experience.
That's fascinating, dude. Like the Joker. Yeah, like I could totally see exactly what you're talking about. Like, and I'll think a lot of times in life we have we're chasing an idea of ourselves or a projection that we thought someone else had of us, or even just the archetype. I can't even freaking remember that word, dude, from freaking science or whatever. The archetype of what we think something is, like the high school quarterback or the prom queen.
Yeah.
And for our whole life, we're like, instead of being like, well, why don't I just fucking put on this comfortable shoe that fits? Or why don't I try to be the quarterback, but he's in the fucking school play and he doesn't have a football, right?
Yeah.
And he's lives in a dungeon or whatever. And he has a hunchback.
Because it's probably good to like challenge yourself and challenge expectations, right? To not just go like, oh, I guess I'm just that and I'll just be that, right?
Yeah.
Like I think I did have an ambition, but really my ambition was about like an experience. I felt like I don't want my experience to be limited. Like that's not fair. That I don't want to just play this role in this way. Like I want, my appetite was bigger than that. Like it was bigger than I think what I was told. I remember when I was young, I remember doing this movie that one of the other actors was talking to the director and he was like, wouldn't it be cool if, Joaquin did, this kind of movie, kind of like so-and-so. And he mentioned this other actor that was like my peer who was like the actor, right? Yeah. And the director was like, yeah, but I mean, Joaquin is no so-and-so. Like, yeah. And he was like, and the other actor was like, dude, that's so fucked up to say. The director was like, oh, no, I mean that in the best way. Like you're a character actor. And
he's no Fred Armisen.
Yeah. Character actor is like kind of code for like, you can't really, like you're never going to really get there, but you'll work. And that fucking pissed me off. Yeah. But here's the thing, but it pissed me off because I was like, no, I have more, like, that's not, there's more that will come out of me. And I just, but I think I ultimately appreciate it because it made me go like, well, how do I find more that way? Like, how do I find more? And yeah, I'm not going to be able to get in this door. And like, yeah, I shouldn't play the quarterback. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I walked out, then you're going like, well, this team, unless it's like,
the defense is going to be on the field a lot. Yeah. If this guy's a fucking quarterback, what's going to be?
Unless it's like some 80s school comedy, like kids comedy, where like they're a disaster.
Yeah.
Maybe that version of it.
Yeah. Or unless they like siphon in a unique quarterback from another realm, kind of.
Right. And his thing is, by the way, let's not give away too much because maybe this is something we should work on.
But no, I think there was something else you said in there, and I forgot what it was a second ago. But it was really profound or it was as profound as people can be in a fucking motel somewhere. But
it's a hotel.
You're right, actually.
Well, just because in case they're
you're right. You're right. Actually, I don't want them being upset. This is a very famous hotel where a lot of fucking important people have overdosed.
Right, exactly.
So let's give it its fucking due.
Right.
And that is true. We're at the Chelsea Hotel, and it is very unique and fun. This is a great place to be whenever you're in New York City, I think. You're tricking me now, dude.
No,
you set me up.
I didn't set you up at all. No, I for real had paranoia, and I was like, I don't want to be the person who's talking shit about them. But Motel Chelsea also It kind of sounds dope, to be honest.
Motel Chelsea.
Yeah.
yeah. It
sounds better than Hotel Chelsea. To be
Oh, it
honest.
sounds like somebody my dad met. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem too, dude.
Sorry. So, anyways,
No, it's all fun, but I think you said exactly what you wanted to say there, and I think it's interesting, yeah, because I think it pertains just even outside of acting is how can we do more? How can I find a way to apply myself to this thing? How do I adjust? What is a new way to do something if I want to get to my goal, and if it's even going to be possible? Is there another route, right? Like rerouting, when your app says that, it's kind of like that, which I think is something that people do when they are when they really have a goal that they want to try and attain. You know, I just think it's interesting.
yeah, it's like, of course, right? Resistance, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like resistance is important, and just reading just been reading about dinosaurs, with my kid, and you're like, oh shit, motherfuckers were like, hold on. There's a very large dinosaur. It's got big teeth. It's nasty. It's mean. And what do? I'm just, I'm a fucking vegetarian dinosaur. What do? And just like evolution, it's like, oh, you start growing spikes out of your back or fucking horns and shit. And it's just like, it's a reaction to the environment. Those motherfuckers, it took millions of years to like react, to change, and to evolve. And so sometimes when you're like, oh yeah, the director was mean to me, he says something mean, like, okay, well, that's fucking nothing comparatively, right? So it's just, yeah, I think kind of meeting the challenge in some ways, like just trying to get to a place of appreciating the resistance.
Yeah.
And reacting to the resistance. I don't know what I'm saying about
No,
dinosaurs.
because most
My
of life
poor
is, but I think
fucking
it's
kid.
fascinating to think how badass a fucking vegan or vegetarian a fucking brontosaurus was.
Brontosaurus is big. That was the solution. It just got like bigger.
Who is the biggest vegetarian dinosaur? Let's give them a little bit of shine here. And I'm sure Josh Brolin will get to play them in a movie, but we won't.
This is the Brontosaurus.
Ooh, the Dreadnoughtus. Look at that limousine.
Have not read about him.
How long have you been a vegan for? Vegetarian? Vegan?
Vegan since I was 3 and a half years old.
That's just been a whole part of your life.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
You know what I do like sometimes? Radishes.
Yeah, I just had some. I just made it yesterday. I made radishes and jalapenos together. Fantastic. Lemon, salt.
I like having some salt and water. I like fasting recently. I've been doing it a lot.
Have you?
And I really love it.
What did you do?
Just nothing.
Just water.
Yeah,
Right?
just water and a little bit of salt. Put some salt in your hand. But you even look forward to the salt. I would even go to
Right.
the gym.
Oh wait, you went to the gym?
I would go to the gym. I get home. Like when I get home, I'm having my fucking pinch of salt.
How long do you fast for?
73 hours is the longest that I did so far. But I'll just do a day. Like I did like 36 hours the other day. I feel like I'm doing like a day a week now, 24.
Yeah, it's great. It's good for you. But are you sure you should work out while you're doing it?
No, I'm not sure.
Maybe look into that. I don't know. But I remember doing that, and then I didn't feel good, and maybe it was that.
I want to ask you one more question before you leave because I feel like we've had a nice conversation, so I don't want to push the bounds.
I'll push it. It's okay. You can do whatever you want, man. It's fine.
Do you feel like did you like being a son? Is that a weird question?
Did I like being a son?
Because I never thought about it. I just thought about it like as we're sitting here thinking about that we were both, we have that in common. Or a lot of people
You
have
have
that in common.
siblings?
Yeah, I got 3 siblings, 1 boy and 2 girls.
Oh, why 2 girls? Yeah. Well, I was the second son. And my brother was like quite a force and was definitely like, I don't know, almost like mythical or Shakespearean, or maybe it's because he died or something. But he's like, he was like the first son, and he was incredible, and he was such a force within our family. It was kind of like the guiding light in some ways. This is when he acted first, and we used to sing on the streets, and he played guitar and kind of like oversaw.
He was like a lead singer.
he was the lead singer and he was the guitarist and kind of oversaw everybody. And he was such a like a strong but gentle force within the family. So I think in some ways, if I'm honest, a lot of my life, like growing up, I kind of was like, like,
Right. What am I going to do?
yeah, kind of like you're like, and not a way of like, oh, this sucks. Just kind of like,
No,
cool,
but hey, yeah.
like cool, like feel secure.
Yeah.
Shit's handled.
That's taken
like,
care of.
Yeah, like everything's fucking handled.
Free at last. yeah, for sure.
I had 3 sisters, and they're also like amazing and strong in the best way. Like, forces like each of them just brilliant. And I probably for like I don't know that I never felt any weight or pressure about like being son or anything like that.
Maybe it falls on the first child a lot. I never thought about that.
I'm sure. And I don't know if it fell on him or if he just like took it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes it's just like undeniable.
This fits.
You know what I mean?
Like I'm the look at the two of us. I'm the son. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes. You know what I mean?
He's working freelance over here. Okay, like
It's kind of the truth, right? And there was no like I never there was like a 4-year age difference between us. So I never felt those things like in movies. There's like the brothers are like competing and like angry. And also feels very like Shakespearean.
Brothers.
Wait, that's funny. You didn't intend that to be funny.
I did not intend that to be funny.
Really?
Yeah,
it still was.
Our brothers. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other brothers.
Anyways, this is good.
Jackson 5, maybe.
That's good.
But that's interesting. Yeah, but I don't know. I was just thinking about being a son because I never really even thought about it myself that much. But yeah, if you have that brother, you kind of have that get out of jail free brother. You're like, oh, this guy's got that, dude. He's a fucking lead singer. I'll be back here.
Yeah. Are you or what?
I'm the second brother. Yeah, I'm the second son. My brother was kind of like went AWOL, so I was like, oh shit, I gotta fucking pick up. I gotta do some recycling here,
Right.
He's great now, but he was just like kind of like rogue, He was like more of like a troublemaker, just like lost. That's what I mean. He was like a lost,
Right.
like a lost guy. But now he's great, and now he's like my hero. He's like, it's cool to like be able to still be like in like that. Everything changes over time.
And what's the age difference?
2 years. But yeah, he's like a brave. What do I admire about him? He has a lot of empathy. And he's good for like being patient with me. It's like he has time for me, right? Mm. And that was something that I think growing up in our place, it was just like I didn't even know it was possible, But yeah, he makes time for me. He makes time for me.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty special.
That's good.
One thing that you guys talked about in Eddington was like whose land it is, right? That was like a little bit of a theme. It was kind of a sub theme, I felt like, with the Native American, and you guys were like the county or the township butted up against native lands. Where do you feel like it's kind of so weird where we are in the world right now because I feel like people are still warring over lands, You think that's, and like there's ice raids, like people are getting taken off of lands and like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I thought we'd be further along in this.
I don't really know Westerns, but I think that's like a common thing in Westerns. At least that's the feeling I have when I think about Westerns. It might not be, but just like the idea of like, this is my land and I'm the protector of this land and I will fight for this land. And so I think that is something that comes up in Eddington. And I think that both figures, both the Sheriff Joe Cross and the mayor, played by Pedro Pascal, both believe that they're like fighting for the land, fighting for this town, and that their idea for this land is the right one.
Yeah.
I was really moved by something that you said when you talked about the war in Gaza, and I think that's really courageous. to speak about it, and you spoke about it like in such a like honest way that I just thought was like really beautiful, and it's crazy because like what's going on is absolutely so fucking horrible. There's no justification for fucking children starving to death in a conflict. Like it's that simple, right? You don't have to understand geopolitics or anything like that just to get that. I know there are conflicts all over the world constantly, but that's something that is. It's shocking, like how maybe we're afraid to talk about it. And oftentimes you're made to feel like you're stupid because you don't understand geopolitics. And you're like, well, I don't have to understand geopolitics. Like, you have to understand like human rights.
Yeah,
basic
feeling
human
it
rights.
feels like to me, you know. For me, yeah, I don't know. I don't care about. I don't know if I care about I mean, but it's hard to say I live on a land that's kind of been taken from other people. But here I am saying like about geopolitics, and I understand that. But then at what point do you not say something, you know? Like, yeah, and we're in a time, and just like in Eddington, kind of like, and I'm not comparing like any of these two things, but people are watching things on their phones, and you can see for the first time some of this like travesty in real time, and it just fucking hurts, man. It's like, and then you're like, am I crazy for not saying anything? But then here we are on a land where, you know, people are living in allotments now, Native American allotments, and that sort of, you know.
Yeah, and that's a great deal of pressure, and just honestly, just you saying that makes me fucking feel like, you know, under pressure. So like okay, yeah, what am I talking about? But I think sometimes not acknowledging it is wrong. Obviously, I don't have the fucking solution. But war always fucking sucks, right? A conflict sucks. But what's happening, it just is crazy to me, just the food distribution that's happening now in Gaza.
They said they're like hiding it from people, or that they're tricking people, or that they have to go so far to get it. It seems
right, but why is it not the organizations that have typically overseen that and have, you know, half a century of experience or decades of experience doing it in the different NGOs, and they're not the ones that are overseeing the food distribution? It's a new organization, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and so that is it's just really troubling and heartbreaking. So it just feels like, how do we not acknowledge that in some way? And I think that you did, and I don't know, like when you did that, if you were like, if that made you nervous doing it, or
yeah, I think I felt scared.
Yeah, well, I think that it was courageous and it was meaningful, and I think it matters, so you know, I'm straight up, I'm really here today because I was so moved by what you said, and just like the courage to do that.
Yeah, I was wondering why you came, to be honest. To be very honest, in some ways, or not in some ways, but thank you, man. I can't even believe that you saw that, and yeah, not thank you, but like, yeah, I think that shit just like, I don't know. It's just like, it's crazy to think like I'm laying in bed at night and I'm warm and I'm okay, and to think that there's like some kid who's never gonna put these pieces together, you know, and even the kids who have to be alive, or the people who still have to be alive. What life do they have? You know, like what like, I don't know. It makes me like, I don't know. And then you start to feel ashamed of your own existence in some ways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You almost feel ashamed to be alive in some ways, in a little bit of a way. Does it make any sense to you?
Yeah. I understand the feeling.
It's a feeling.
I totally
it's just
understand
a little bit of
that feeling, but
thank you, man. Thank you for well, yeah, not thank you, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But I think it's important today that you do say something like you say, you know, and not to think that this isn't affecting people, you know. I think, yeah, that we're human beings. We absorb what's going on, you know, and we watch the actors that are out there in the world, and it affects us. It affects children. What are kids doing, or seeing those things on TikTok? What happens to their brains and stuff, you know?
yeah.
So, But no, I'm grateful to be able to be in a place today and in a country where we can still say something, you know, and it's not mandated by some other power. And who knows if that's coming soon or what's happening. So
Do you have some inside information?
I have nothing.
Okay, 'cause I
promise.
thought you were looking at me like that you knew some shit. You're like, no, okay. Well, that's good.
Is there a... You know, I was thinking the other day, I missed Philip Seymour Hoffman. I miss him. I miss his acting. Is there somebody that you miss? Like their acting? Or like a Philip Seymour Hoffman, I'm trying to think. Michael Landon, I miss.
Who's Michael Landon?
He did Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah,
the
of
other day.
course. And then, what was the Heaven?
Highway to Heaven.
It was Highway to Heaven.
With Victor French.
Right.
God.
Because I think that was one that I tried out for several times.
You're lying.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure.
God.
Yeah, it's
could've
definitely in my memory. But that was one of the shows when I was a kid that was popular.
Yeah, dude.
Wow,
He was something special. He was a really special.
wow. So he was this. What's happening? Oh,
in between.
what's this thing here? It says 1984 and then R.I.P. What is that?
Well, apparently he took the Highway to Heaven. He was in the HOV lane in that picture. You know, that's all we can do.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Hey, listen. You're going back out on the road, right?
Yeah.
Is it fun or is it grueling?
It was fun. Like, I think like I'm ready to stop doing this hour material. It's changed a lot. It's like probably 60% different than when I started. So it's evolved a lot and adjusted, but I'll be happy to get it done when I feel like we've gone to all the places that we can and like kind of, you know, you want everybody to have a chance to see it if they want. But I'll be happy to have a